Hello there, welcome to Prequel, Sequel, Requel, the show where we pick a film or a franchise and give it a prequel, a sequel, and a requel with a panel of comedians and movie lovers. And tonight, have we got a treat for you? We've got a bit of a film classic that we've promised on this show for quite some time. Now, I'm the one who kept going on about this one. I'll hold my hands up and say it's my fault that we're doing this tonight, but we're doing Loch Ness with Ted Danson. There he is. Jolie Richardson, Ian Holm, they're all in this movie. It's an absolute cinematic masterpiece, a classic, if you will. But our panel won't agree with me, but here they are. Let's bring them in no particular order, other than the one that come on in every week. It's first of all, it's a comedian and improviser. He's here every week. It's Eddie French.
Hey, everyone. What are you on about? Saying I wouldn't agree with you. Come on now.
I see you've got your own copy of Loch Ness there.
Yes, thank you very much. It was a gift that you gave me several Christmases ago that I literally unwrapped for the first time ever today so I could watch this film.
Oh, that's so nice.
I enjoyed it.
Well, do you know what? Speaking of gifts...
Oh...
We're gonna bring our next panelist on, and our only other panelist tonight, because you guessed it, there's only three of us this evening. What can I say? I got her a copy of Loch Ness as well, and apparently it fell about in the box and must have scratched.
Mine was in perfect working order.
Do you know what? I'm tempted to just go across there and get it and just do that so you can listen to it waggling about in the box.
Don't do that. Your internet might go off, love.
I promise you, it doesn't work. Hey, Martin.
Hello, Martin.
Finally, the greatest movie of all time.
That's a bit of a stretch, Martin.
Come on,
Martin Cameron telling it like it is.
That's beautiful. Let's get our things up. If you want to join in with the show tonight, feel free. You can comment away. How's your week's been? I should have asked you. I'm too excited.
You are, aren't you?
Shit, how your week's been with Loch Ness?
I've had a lovely week, thank you.
Yeah, it's been all right. Yeah,
good.
Not bad at all.
Has everybody been double jabbed?
Not yet.
I got my second jab on Thursday, so yep, I'm full of jab and ready to go out and start Frenching everyone I see.
Oh, Nat, when's your next jab?
Not till July.
Oh,
17th of July, yeah.
Oh,
I've only had one.
Oh, we won't be near you when we're doing gigs. Mine's on
And
Saturday.
one jab, Nat.
Mine's on Saturday because I had pneumonia back in the day. You know what I mean?
Oh, I nearly died. Nearly died.
Anyway,
I was jabbed early on account of being considered very important and vital to the war effort. I don't know why I was chosen, but there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Big T.
Big T More. Hello, all. Great. You're doing Loch Ness. Oh, it's all the fans are coming out now in droves.
Oh yeah.
That's 2 seconds in July also.
See, me and Martin were synced, jab synced.
Hanging out down the clinic.
Yeah. Waiting for a big prick.
So
standing there in line going, I have heard the second one right. They use 10 needles that are each the size of the moon and they put it up your bum. Oh no, they don't do that. Yeah, they do. They proper do. And it bleeds, but it is green. Like just remember when you got your TB jab at school and all the kids all the older kids would go, there was a kid, right? And once he fainted so hard his arm fell off. And stuff like that. Yeah, it's just sorry, I just did a little bit of Peter Kay style material there.
What's that about? There you go.
It's my BCG. What's all that about?
So what about? Right then. So
we are getting TV, dickhead.
We are doing Loch Ness tonight, obviously. If you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, hello, welcome to the show. So what's going to happen if you've not seen the show before? We've got the film, obviously, Loch Ness. These guys we're all going to do it tonight. Actually, I forgot. Yeah. We're all going to come up with a prequel, a sequel, and a requel in that order. You guys online can vote for your favourite pitch. And then we'll do the scores at the end and see who's the winner of each round. Then there'll be an overall winner of the evening. It's just that simple. But first of all, I'm going to read you the back of the DVD cover for Loch Ness. Are you ready for this?
I'm going to read along with you.
About. Yeah, it might be the same one. I don't know. I might have changed a little bit. It's a mystery as old as time. Does a monster lurk between the dark depths of the Loch Ness waters? American zoologist Dr. Jonathan Dempsey is determined to find out. Ted Danson leads an international cast in this great family adventure. Dempsey begins his search with the help of his landlady and her daughter, Isabel. Ian Holm plays the mysterious old water bailiff working against Dr. Dempsey as he searches to find the truth in the legend of the Loch Ness Monster. Is it the same? Pretty much.
Yep, pretty much.
Well, the back of my DVD is all in foreign language, so I couldn't read it straight off the back of there. It's all,
Oh, right.
like, yeah, I don't know why I was like, what? But it's in English, the film. So, anyway, don't matter. So there you go, Loch Ness. So, yeah, Hunt for the Loch Ness Monster, Ted Danson. There we go. So, should we just get straight on with this?
Oh my God, he's so excited. Look at him.
He's champing at the bit.
Loch Ness prequels. Here we go. So, I always forget I got to write when I'm doing it as well. So, let me give it a pen. Right, here we go. And I don't know how I'm going to do my recap there. Don't matter. Right,
well,
okay.
Surely you know what you've written.
It's quite intense, mine. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't doubt it for a second. But
20 pages of research as well. Right then, okay.
Come back,
Eddie,
Pip Mason. All is forgiven.
You're going first, Eddie.
Oh yeah.
Prequel. Are you ready for this?
Okay, I am. Yes.
Go for it.
I've just realised Chris isn't going to enjoy this one, according to a conversation we had earlier. Oh. Gordon Scholl is a cryptid maniac. This film documents his efforts to locate and protect various mythical, legendary, and otherwise debated creatures using bunting and shouting, his two methods of protecting animals. We follow his life as he tries to find the beasts of Bodmin, Dartmoor, and Dean before being kicked out of the West Country, going to East Anglia to locate Black Shuck. After being evicted from there, he travels up to Lake Windermere to help Balnessie, before heading further north to Loch Ness, where he is tolerated by the locals, presumably because he frightens away some of the less brave tourists.
Okay, is that the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like a biopic.
Right. Okay.
Or a biopic, however one pronounces it.
Biopic. Okay, questions then. Hang on, what was his name again?
Gordon Scholl. It's Keith Allen's character.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, now you don't like it.
Oh, right. Okay, I've got you. Right then, got you. Okay, so questions. We got a question, Nat?
I'm having a think. So, are we going to see any of these legendary beasts? Because if Ness is real, we have to assume also that the others then are real if you believe in them. So, will we see them?
I think it's going to be a case of the fact that because he has this ability to find them, but is generally unlikable and unpleasant, so no one has any real time for him. So when he's going, "That is my monster! I am its dad," and all the other mad stuff he shouts from the shore up to his knees in the loch. He does that about it, like, "Get off of Bodmin! I am in charge of it." And people go, "You're not. You're just a maniac." So he's going to be, if anything, I think sort of cryptid hunters and people like the water bailiff probably like him because it discredits the idea that there are creatures around there. So the more people like him are seen to be going, "Oh, look, I am clever man, stand in the river and shout at a boat," people are going to be less inclined to believe.
We talked about it earlier, didn't we? It's literally in the film for like one scene, and then you never see him again. This guy.
No. Yeah, I mean, I think Keith Allen just went there on holiday, and they just decided to film him and sent him a check later on. He's like, "I don't remember being in Loch." "Oh, it must have been. I don't know." Just because he's just on holiday and mucking about. But that's my guess anyway. So, but I thought it would be interesting if he was just turfed out of all other places where they're. Yeah. And also, I thought it would be interesting to have more British cryptids, more British mythical beasts and stuff like that.
Okay. Right then. Let's talk casting. Who would be playing Gordon?
Take it seriously as you look at his face.
Yeah. I mean, immediately, someone you wouldn't want anywhere near your tourist destination or children would be James Corden, but we're not in the habit of giving him work. So if he was younger, maybe someone like, if it started off like Chris Marshall, remember him from the BT
Yeah.
ads and
I'll have to look him up.
Death
My
in
Family.
Paradise as well. He did
Death
well.
in Paradise he's in, yeah. But when he was younger and he was doing that sort of,
Love Actually.
Love Actually,
I
yeah. When
know
he was
you mean.
doing that sort of slightly baffled but friendly thing. But I can see him becoming twisted as he gets called a liar constantly and shifted on, that by the time he makes it, he would become this sort of haggard Keith Allen kind of character. So I'd want someone who can start off quite cheerful and, oh yeah, brilliant, I'm looking after the Beast of Bodmin, to someone who becomes very sort of so someone like him who's got his energy but is more current.
I really don't know.
But someone like that, I think.
That's quite an acceptable answer. It's not like, you know.
Not doing your job for you.
I know, but Chris Marshall must be pushing 50 now. He must be. I don't know.
Shall I have a look?
Well, how old's Keith Allen in the film? It don't matter really.
In the film, he's in his 40s, maybe. But
all right.
But anyway, so someone with that kind of, I want.
It's
youthful,
48.
48. So there you go. I was about right. But yeah, I want someone sort of with a youthful exuberance, a joie de vivre, a genuine likability, for him to become that unpleasant Keith Allen shouting character. So
I'm trying to think of a young like Cockney, but
well, yeah.
What about one of the Peaky Blinder guys? They're all knocking.
They're all from Birmingham. Well, the characters are.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh, actually,
the
one who plays the youngest Peaky Blinder brother, one who always smoked a cigar. I can't remember his name, but yeah, I think he could do it. He was quite cheerful and up for it. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
That
okay.
guy.
Right. Let's crack on. Nat, it's your turn.
All right.
Your prequel.
Okay. Here we go.
Just a reminder. Take this seriously.
Yeah. I'm getting in the zone.
Yeah.
Getting in the zone.
Sorry.
Okay. Scientist Dr. Abernathy wanted to change the world, to find a cure for things like hangovers, or stop that weird thing when you're falling asleep and then you jerk and you feel like you're falling. Trouble is, he's not so great at being a scientist, and he gets more and more rubbish scientist jobs to do, like discovering a cure for split nails or discovering a cure for an itchy bum. Disgruntled, he moves to Scotland to try prove the most impossible thing he can actually exists, to make himself super rich. He intends to prove the existence of the Loch Ness Monster. The trouble is, the local wildlife know what he's up to and always sabotage him or try to stop him from realising the truth. After several years, while Dr. Abernathy is out and about, slightly drunk, he does actually see the monster and manages to get a pic. The otters, realising that he could blow everything, push him into the loch and drown him to stop the secret from ever getting out. The end.
Right.
There you go.
Okay. So the otters are the culprits for him losing he didn't lose his balance.
He didn't lose his balance, no. He was going to blow the whole thing open because he wanted the money, so they pushed him in. Yeah.
Right, okay. So if anybody's watching who hasn't seen Loch Ness, that's what happens at the start of the movie. The guy who was doing the research thing sees Nessie, takes a picture, and then falls onto the rocks and dies. So, yeah.
He's murdered by wildlife. That's what happens.
Right, so that's what happened. Okay, questions then, Eddie. Have you got anything? I'll have a think as well.
What is his speciality? What degree does he hold? Because he's looking for sort of the cure for various things. So is this sort of biomedical in some way, or?
Well, he printed his certificate out online, and he did a couple of open university courses. Yeah, so he didn't actually really like graduate with a proper degree. He just pretends he's a doctor.
Forgive me. Are you telling me that the film Loch Ness is predicated on the death of a fraud?
Very cleverly, yes.
I mean, it
Right,
has some
okay.
depth to it.
All right, Roger Moore. Looks like there was some depth to it.
Looks like he's not messing about.
Getting a bit hotter under the collar.
Anyway,
So is
yeah,
that the
carry
answer?
on.
Is that the answer? I've got.
Oh, I won't do any more of that because that'll spoil my requel.
Okay.
Right. Got to think of a question now. Hang on. When you say wildlife try to stop him, are there other incidents in the film of wildlife stopping him doing things in other places?
Yes. So I had a look at the wildlife generally in and around the loch, and they have things like eels and catfish, seals, otters, like stag and deer, things like that. So yeah, they all are in. They're complicit because they're part of the natural world, and Nessie is part of the natural world. You just have to obviously believe him to see him and her. So yeah, they're all complicit in it. So there'll be amusing things like he'll be trying to take photos, and then he'll put his camera down and he'll get his sandwich, and when he looks back, like a seal swimming off with his camera around its neck, or like, I don't know, a bird steals his lunch, and while he's chasing the bird, somebody, a fucking deer nicks his camera equipment. Do you know what I mean? There'll be stuff like that happening all the time.
Is this going to be a film?
Camera done it. Hey, is this
Is this going to be a film, or is it going to be printed in the Beano?
No, it's going to be a film.
Because it sounds like he's going to turn to the camera and go, "Ooh, okay, readers," at any given point.
It's going to be a film, and that's all going to be montage, because obviously we have to see. There's a little bit at the beginning where we see him realizing he's not a very good scientist and like not being able to cure anything before he gets to. And then there's a horrible evil scene where he reveals he's doing it for the money. And then then after that, it's just a non-stop animal attack until, and occasionally a water bailiff gets involved, but just in general, he they do things like trick him up.
Ian Holm will just row past and just go, "I'll thank you to stop messing around with the wildlife," and then just rows off backwards.
Yeah. Stuff like that, because they all know.
I wish he'd have said, "Keep it secret, keep it safe," you know. Like, oh, that'll be fun on the ring.
That'll be important in 6 years' time.
Okay. That's good. You've answered the question.
Cool.
Oh,
Ian Holm had already played Frodo in the BBC adaptation, late 70s radio adaptation, featuring a young William Nye as Samwise. As Bill Nye used to go by William Nye. And what's brilliant is that apparently you can't play Sam without going, "Oh, Mr. Frodo, hello, sir," because that's the voice that William Nye does as well, which is really funny. Sorry, just
influence, or maybe it's in the, is it in the original?
In the original text, that it sounds like he's from the West Country. Yeah. I don't know.
This must be spoken in a West Country accent. You'd be like, oh.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's been a while since I read it. But...
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Chris, everything's been leading up to this. Are you ready?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what's Nat drinking tonight? We just got this. Hang on.
Hello, Hannah.
Hello, Hannah. You all right?
It's not raspberry Pepsi, Hannah. It's normal Pepsi.
Just regular diet.
I feel like I've let you down.
Well, we'll find out.
All of the fruit cola drinks.
Family Nest cartoon reference, yeah. I wonder if anybody's got that. Right, my turn. Let's do this. Here we go.
Elspeth and Angus.
My prequel. 1986, British Columbia. Okay? We pan down to see the village of Silverton. Okay? A footprint in the mud. It's larger than any human could ever make. John Dempsey stares in disbelief. He's been here months with no evidence, and now he has found tracks. He follows them into the mountains where he discovers a den with a family of Bigfoots living in there, okay? Dempsey has a dilemma. Oh, this was called, Loch Ness, Dempsey's Dilemma as well. That's the sub.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, okay. sees a family of Bigfoots in the den. Dempsey has a dilemma. This discovery will make his name, but as he looks on, his compassion for the family takes over. He can't tell the world of this and decides, even though his career and reputation will be destroyed, to get rid of all the tracks leading to the family, and he's going to fake some evidence, which will then be classed as a hoax to discredit him even further. And this gives the original film an undertone, because if you think about it, he's in the same dilemma later on in the film, and that makes it doubly important. That's what I'm going for. That's my prequel.
Good, because my question was, is that not pretty much the plot of Loch Ness?
It's just a layer. It's adding a layer.
Oh, it's a layer. I beg your pardon.
It's a layer to Dempsey's story.
Sure.
So it actually gives you more sympathy for him at the start of the movie as well.
I understand that you place Dempsey and his arc as being somewhere in between Luke Skywalker and Jesus Christ as being the important redemption arc. But okay, fine. All right. So it's not the same plot. It's a layer. I've got you.
It's a layer, and it just I wanted his character, justifying a bit more at the start of the movie. And I thought this would do that, That's it.
Cool.
Have you got a question, Nat, or have I just blown your mind with it?
My mind was blown. I'm not going to lie. So I would be interested to know whether the Bigfoot will be CGI or Sasquatch, as I believe that they're called in the film as well. Or
will it be Harry and the Hendersons?
Or will there be Harry and the Hendersons? Yeah. Is it going to be many suits? What's it going to be? Are we going to get Andy Serkis?
I'm going to do a combo of a lot of that, but I'm going to go back to the original source and do Jim Henson's Creature Shop. We're going to go with them.
Oh, nice.
Going to go old school.
One step closer to it just being about Ted Danson and a family of Wookiees.
Yeah. It's going to be,
Broadly speaking, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Does it say Kashyyyk crossed out British Columbia?
Yeah, British Columbia. Well, I when I watched in the film, they do reference British Columbia in it and 1980.
They do.
So I thought, I'll tap into that. Let's find out what happened. My original version, I was going to do about
thing happened.
Finding a fly, and I was like, nah, come on.
Finding a fly? Or like the
mentioned that his ex-wife was like
the wasp.
It's a wasp. It's a
nobody wants to see that.
Wasp.
That's not going to be do well for his character. I did have a really dark one as well originally, but that was it was about no, I can't tell you. Right, so Martin said that's full script. I'll send you the script, Martin, if you want to have a read of it.
It's what Chris sends.
The end, Martin.
Chris sends it for every self-tape audition he gets. There you go. We've got these lines here. He goes, no. I'll do you something special.
Yeah. Have you ever seen lines with Ted Danson?
I only know two impressions: Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse. He does the sitting on the stairs with the little girl scene, and that's why he's famous.
Kills every time.
Oh yeah, totally.
Hello.
They tell me it's so good. I never get any of the auditions I self-tape for.
That's why neither of us got the John Smith's advert.
Yes, that's right. Any more questions? You've answered.
No, good man. I'm good.
Cool. Right then, let's do a quick recap. Then here we go. The end of the round.
Here we go.
Your favourite. If you're playing at home, I'll do you a quick recap of what you just heard though. So Eddie's prequel was about Gordon Scholes, who is the Keith Allen character who basically shouts a lot in the original film. On the side of the shore, he's just screaming and shouting, "Get away from my beast!" So it's a prequel about him. He's shouting his way through all different beasts, like Beasts of Bodmin Moor, all famous UK sighted beasts. Dean, is that a forest?
Yeah. There's the Beast of Dean, the Beast of Bodmin, the Beast of Dartmoor,
Windermere.
Black Shuck over in East Anglia, and Balnessie over Lake Windermere.
Yeah, and then he ends up in Loch Ness because he's been frightening everyone and getting kicked out of all those sites.
Yeah.
Okay. Nats was about Dr. Abernathy. He wanted to change the world, but he wasn't great at science. He was terrible. He could only try and cure itchy bums and things like that. He wants to try and prove Nessie exists so he can become super rich. But the wildlife keeps stopping him from doing this, and they've finally had enough when he takes a photo of Nessie and the otters push him over and he cracks his skull up, and it leads to the first film. And mine was basically Ted Danson finding your Bigfoots in British Columbia, and then deciding to discredit himself because he ain't got the heart to shop them in.
Oh.
Martin's book, Keith Allen's character could be played by his son from Game of Thrones.
Oh yes, his son is an actor. Yes, you're absolutely right, Martin. That's the perfect solution.
And
Who
Hannah's,
could be a young
Pepsi
Keith
Max.
Allen? As in
It's
not
not.
Pepsi Max.
Not Pepsi Max, no.
It's not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Hannah.
Let's get our votes in then. Let's do this.
See, I'm
So you can
struggling
vote
with this
online.
because I really like both of them. I like the fact that we see Eddie's character essentially become slowly more and more mad. I think that would be a really interesting thing to watch. But you mentioned Jim Henson's Puppet Workshop, and that's
Well, I think overall, I'm gonna have to go with Nats because I want to see mischievous indigenous Scottish wildlife.
Yeah,
and that's the thing.
why I'm going for Nats as well because of that. I think it's a good idea.
Because it'll be a little bit like the Dr. Dolittle films.
Yeah. So, have a lot of fun with it. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Thank you, chaps.
And there was for a film with otters in it, there weren't enough. There never are for me.
Pockets.
But what?
Hey.
Otter's pocket.
Well, I mean, there was a lock, so yeah. But yeah, that's So I'm just going for that one.
I think. Oh, this is really hard. I think I love Jaws, Chris. I did, but I think this time I'm going to go for Eddie's. I want to see that descent into madness and meet all the other beasties.
I would have gone for Eddie's, but I don't like that character, so that's why I really.
But you might find yourself. I'm not asking for the vote, by the way. I just thought you might find yourself being a little bit more sympathetic towards him if you saw that he was driven mad. But But I mean, I agree with you. Voting for Nats is the right one.
Yeah. Let's have a look at our votes online. Big T Moore, vote for Nat Murder Otters. Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you, Big T Moore.
Could be called that. Have you got a title for it? Murder
I
Otters.
think it's now called Murder Otters. Yeah.
Nat Smeaton and the Murder Otters. I'd listen to them.
Like Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah.
Love the image of a seal nicking the camera and cheeky otters. Well, he didn't, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
He didn't actually nick the camera because if you've seen the original film, Mr. Dempsey gets the camera later on and he looks in the.
No, this is Mr. Abernathy's when he's
he drops the camera on the.
He goes through a lot of cameras though. They steal a lot of.
All right.
stuff.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Just,
Thank you, Anna.
I just want to make sure the film's, not interfered with in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? I want to make sure crystal clear. You're not taking the original film.
This isn't Waterworld. We can't just take the piss.
Yeah, exactly. Right then, my head says Chris and my heart says Eddie, but I'll vote for the otter. You're getting them otters.
Yeah, cleaning up here now.
I tell you, if I'd have known that putting Murder Otters in things got votes, I'd have done it ages ago.
Yeah.
P.S. I saw a magpie riding a goat today.
That is the most metal thing anyone has said to me in a week.
Good. Right then,
That's an
so
album cover.
any more votes? That's it. I think we're not. No more votes. I don't know if. I'll have to close it down. What? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We done. There's more people watching. There's nobody voting. Well, there is people voting, but you know what I mean. The votes don't add up to the people watching. Anyway, that's fine. Nat, you've won that round.
That cost Donald Trump an election once.
It did, yeah. It did a lot of fake votes going around. Oh, Hannah, come on!
Hannah
Did it on purpose. She voted after the time were up. Thank you, Hannah, for that sympathy vote.
Voting with malicious intent.
I just got one vote in. I was sweating then. I thought
That's all right, yeah.
Right then, okay. Thank you for that vote there, that last one. Let's go on to the sequels.
Oh,
okay.
it's
Can you
very
rotate the
exciting.
board?
Do you want me to rotate the board?
Only if you want to.
I can't rotate the board because I'm in it and it won't rotate because it always.
Oh yeah, if you come out of it, that's it over. Yep. Never
Yeah.
mind.
We'll
leave
it. We'll leave it.
Oops.
All right,
Nearly-
Martin,
Nearly
calm
crushed
down.
that one into a cliff.
Can it, Martin? Can it?
Come on, Martin. That's not the kind of environment we want to foster around here. We don't laugh at people for only getting one vote.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have left this show a long
Yeah,
time
we laugh
ago.
at them getting 0 vote. You know the rules.
Again, I'd have left a long time ago if that had been the case. So
Chris often does laugh though, Eddie. I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm well aware. I've decided to assume that is a professional level of bullying that that only stays online. So
yeah,
that's how I get to sleep at night.
Right then. By the way, I've got a mascot with me tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh, you got a wee Nessie.
Got a wee Nessie.
Oh, you went to Loch Ness to the horror festival.
Loch Ness Film Festival. We had our film
did.
play there. Yeah. There he is. The memories. Anyway.
They're all you got when you get older, aren't they?
Yeah,
Oh, they are.
Start to go.
What are we doing now? I've forgotten. It's sequels.
Sequels, love. We're doing
Tablet.
sequels.
You're taking your
Right
tablet.
then.
Your daughter's
then.
coming tomorrow. Go for a nice walk.
Can
She's
you
not
hear me?
coming. She never
Can
does,
you-
but it makes
can
him
you
happy
hear
to
me?
hear that she is. Yes,
Nat.
love.
Nat, you're
Yes?
going first.
Is it me?
On your sequel.
Is it me?
You now. You.
Okay.
Your sequel.
Here I go. My sequel. Right. This is about the loch itself. Okay.
Ooh.
The loch is mad. Nessie is behind on the rent by several months, and they've ignored all of the letters and eviction notices that the loch has issued. Plus, there is another family of nice plesiosaurs who would just love to move in. Nessie and the otters and a grown-up Isabel decide to help by throwing fundraisers and bake sales and car washes to get the money together for Nessie's rent. They make up a charity, the New Emerging Sciences Studying Invisible Ebola Science charity, which stands for Nessie, to try get the money together. Isabel contacts her mum and stepdad for advice, and they fly straight over. The deadline is looming. The loch is threatening to take Nessie on. Can't pay, will take it away if they don't pay up soon, and they'll expose Nessie's existence. But that's when Mr. Dempsey realizes the key to the problem is convincing the loch that Nessie doesn't exist, because if he can do that, the loch will no longer see them. So Mr. Dempsey takes the loch out, gets it very, very drunk, and makes it convinced that Nessie doesn't exist. It works. The loch can no longer see Nessie and therefore doesn't evict him because they doesn't know they're there. And that's the end of the film.
Okay. Right then. So, questions from myself and Eddie there.
I thought I'd bring the old cast back. Well, not all the old cast, but
No.
the main cast back, the loch.
The loch. I mean,
I'm wondering is the car wash going to be a bit like Cool Hand Luke, in that Nessie is going to be wearing like booty shorts and a little like sort of gingham crop top thing and stuff. Is that what we're doing with the car wash? Is it?
Yes, yeah, they're all in bikinis.
Are the otters going to be betting each other they can't eat a dozen hard-boiled eggs? What is this?
I don't know, actually. I had more of a dodgeball idea in mind where it all just gets a bit weird and somebody just gets Nessie to clean the rims of his truck over and over again, maybe. But
right.
yeah, because none of the fundraising ideas are working. They're in a very small town and they just can't raise the rent money. So that montage. Go on,
you wouldn't need a car wash in rural Scotland, because the moment you clean it, you go for one drive and it's covered in mud and bracken again. So
well, this is why they thought it would work, because people just keep coming back and getting their cars washed. But sadly, they still couldn't raise the money. But yeah, there will be a montage of bake sales and amusing moments where Nessie goes to take a bite of a cupcake and Isabel pushes it in their face and they're like, oh, and then bikini car wash things, even though it's freezing in Scotland, that type of thing.
Tell
Yeah.
you what, though, lovely weather they got for the filming of this film. It just blue skies, sunshine all over the place. I imagine people who went to visit after seeing this film must have been furious.
All right.
Okay.
Let's think about this.
I love you taking it this seriously, Chris. It's making my day.
So, I mean, you're expecting an audience to watch your movie.
Wow.
And accept that the Loch can go out and have a drink with Mr. Dempsey.
Yeah. I'm thinking outside the box here. I'm thinking it's probably going to have to be animated. How would a Loch
take a drink, and what would that drink be of? It's a two-parter.
Well, thank you. So the vision
how much of a quantity would that drink be, and what would it be served in, and what bar would they be in?
Chris, you realise you've just done a blind date question. So, the Loch, if you were an exotic cocktail, what would you be and why?
And how would you serve yourself to me?
I'd be a pina colada because I'm exotic and fruity. What would you be?
I can't think of a good question.
It's okay. I'm going to answer your question because I feel it's valid. It's a valid question. Right. So, essentially, he can't take the Loch anywhere. It's too big. It's not going to fit in the pub. So Ted is going to sit on the shores of the Loch. Mr. Dempsey, sorry, going to sit on the shores of the Loch.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Dempsey, and he is going to be drinking from a bottle. And every time he has a shot, he's going to throw a shot in the Loch. Now you would think that would be quite diluted, but think about it. The Loch's never really drank before, so he's probably can't hold his liquor. Also, so I reckon a good halfway down that bottle of scotch, he's going to be gone.
Homeopathically speaking, that diluted amount of alcohol will be incredibly strong.
There you go.
Okay.
The laws of homeopathics.
Yeah.
And Mr. Dempsey is indeed a scientist, so would know.
All right. All right. I just saw a bit of a gap in the thing. I wanted to explain it. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Sounds fine to me. That sounds fine.
Oh, is the Loch going to have a voice? And if so, whom?
I think the Loch will need to have a voice. So I think, like, when I think of Loch Ness, I think of something like Laurence Olivier, but with a Scottish accent. Do you know what I mean? Like that type of gravitas. That's what I want. I want Laurence Olivier to voice it with a Scottish accent.
Might I recommend Brian Cox, the actor, not the...
You said cock.
I did. I said Cox, actually.
Many of them.
Brian Cox, the actor, not the physicist.
Are you sure you don't want Mike Myers doing another one of his Scottish accents?
I don't recall him ever doing a Scottish accent. I've seen him try. Around.
I'm gonna stick with Laurence Olivier.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a note of that. Right then. Okay, that's all the questions. I hope our voters are making a note of that as well. Interesting choice. Right then. Okay, my go for my sequel. I haven't done this for ages. This is why I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. I mean, pitch my things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Loch Ness 2, Lockdown.
Oh.
It's present day. Jonathan Dempsey and Laura Dempsey, yeah, they're married, live the tranquil life in Loch Ness. Okay. After the events of the first film, things there hasn't been much drama really, except for the odd Nessie hunter turning up, causing a bit of a ruckus, but they're on the way. And then that is about to change, though. It's all about to change.
No.
A body washes up on the banks of the loch, and authorities see that it's got missing limbs and giant teeth marks in the torso. They're like, this sparks a huge surge in Nessie hunters as the Nessie fever's back on. So they all start turning up in droves to the flock there looking for Nessie, and they're like, big weapons and boats and all sorts going on. Meanwhile, Izzy Dempsey, she's been adopted. Give him Dempsey name. It's nice, isn't it? A bit of a sideline there. Gets wind of this and decides to return home. She's in Vegas, being an excellent impressionist and card shark. Along with Izzy, John and Laura wait for the hunters to arrive and systematically pick off the monster hunters one by one, killing them, slitting throats, talking, harpooning them, murder, death, kill, kill. And then they feed them to the Nessie family. Right? Went dark.
Wow.
Went dark, this one, didn't it?
Wow.
The secret, and Dempsey at one point turns to camera and goes, "The secrets of the loch will never be revealed, not as long as there's breath in my body." Fucking
Wow, I
murderers,
did
aren't
not expect
they? They will
that.
do anything to keep the secret of the loch safe.
I did not expect that.
Well, I thought after the fun,
Wow.
light-hearted prequel, we had to go dark.
I like the way you've taken Loch Ness as being a new hope and decided you needed to write the Empire
That's the
Strikes
Empire.
Back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got. I just realised Anna says Billy Connolly would be good as Locke. He bloody would be.
He actually
Bloody
would,
awesome.
yeah. That's good, that.
That's an excellent idea.
Thanks, Anna.
Oh. Yeah, it turned out you were wrong, Hannah.
Can I ask a question about the murder
You can
death
ask
kill?
any questions you want. I've got
So-
80 pages of this.
Is it just... I can't believe that. Is it just the Dempseys who are murdering, or do the whole... You know, do all the residents get involved? The water bailiff, Mad Keith, like, are they? Does everybody get involved with it? The otters, like, yeah. How
There's
many?
There's no otters in it. That won't. You won't.
No otters in yours.
Unbelievable.
Okay.
Unbelievable to have otters.
All right.
There were otters in
Okay.
the original.
No, but not joining with the murder.
Not murder
Oh, I
otters. That's
see,
fine,
right.
yeah.
Not murder
So,
otters. That's nasty.
Is the whole the whole village getting involved essentially?
Let's just say the village. To put it this way, the village are aware of what goes on, right? And they'll step in if the Dempseys, the Dempsey clan, need an extra hand.
Flipping heck, mate. Oh,
So they're not averse to, you know, chopping up a few bodies, feeding them.
what's Nessie got over them for them to be this?
They're just
determined
they
to
want that
protect this
tourist
secret?
money in, don't they? They want to keep it coming in and making sure nobody finds out. That's why.
Well,
I have a small question to go
Yes.
before my main one.
Oh.
Does Isabel still call Mr. Dempsey Mr. Dempsey?
She does call him that still, even though he keeps going, "Call me John," like that.
Right, I mean, okay, but she insists. Oh, I couldn't possibly, Mr. Dempsey.
Yeah, she
Right.
says it all the way, and he's like getting a bit sick of it, and he's thinking,
Right.
"Sure, no, he won't do it. Won't do it.
sure.
Push her into lock." No, but they won't eat her anyway because they know what,
No.
you know what I mean.
They'd rescue her. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
No, that was my main question. Everything else, I can't. Yeah.
Did it go too dark for you? Is it like, you know?
No, I didn't get. It wasn't necessarily too dark. It was. It went quite dark, unexpectedly, because because we were introduced to the details of Isabel Dempsey being a professional impressionist and card shark.
Yeah.
And then the next sentence was, then they hack and kill and maim people to death. So I think it was more of it's more tonal whiplash than it is anything else.
Yeah.
The joy with which you said slit throat was actually quite disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a minute, I was wondering if slitting throats was like term for like card manipulation.
Oh, no.
Because, you know, it's like, oh, when you're dealing them, if you just slit the throat, then you can deal yourself the best card or something, but apparently not.
No, it's just the old slitting throats.
Oh, no, I know what it is. I know what it is.
To the lock.
Yep, Rooney.
For the next history.
Yep. Yippity doodah. Yep, indeedio.
Okay, is that your questions?
Oh, yeah.
Dear. Yeah, we don't want to upset you anymore, Chris. Yeah, you were.
No? Okay. Eddie, it's your go for your sequel.
All right. Mine starts quite similarly to Nat's in the sense that I just say, character is, and then make out that they're annoyed. So Dr. Mercer is very angry.
Oh.
This Dempsey clown won't make a fool of him so easy.
Ooh.
John is living at the Moffat Arms with Laura and Isabel. with Adrian hanging about asking about Yetis and the like. One morning, word gets around that Gordon Scholl was attacked in the night. He's in hospital unconscious. Isabel says, I had a dream about him, and the loch was boiling away and steaming. Laura tells her that it was just a dream, but she is worried. After all, she does have the gift from her grandmother, who was something of a local hag. Mercer and some goons are out to find Nessie. They're certain that something was up. So they go about setting up equipment that's going to heat the loch, causing Nessie to come to the surface. John, Laura, Isabel, and Adrian stop them by rallying the village behind them, saying, we all know that Nessie is here. And they all say, of course we do. We saw her when we were young. And other things that all of the English actors who play this Scottish village will say. Mm-hmm. And they attack them with claymores and by rolling whiskey barrels at them.
Mm-hmm.
That they succeed. Mercer is sent away with his tail between his legs.
Ah, so nobody dies. When you said claymores, I thought people were going to die. Does anybody die?
I mean, probably not.
Okay.
It would be strange to have a PG first film and then like a 15 or 18 sequel.
Hey, it's the 15 on Blu-ray.
Is it? Why?
How so?
Hey, the box don't lie. I'm only reporting.
There you go. PG
obviously,
on.
Obviously,
PG
there's
on
a few more throats are slit in this version.
The otters are really murdering Chris's, clearly.
Yeah.
The bit where he walks in and she's washing the dog and she's wearing a bra. In your version, is she just totally naked? Is that the difference?
Yeah, there's a scene where Dempsey's in bath scrubbing his balls as well. I don't know that one. PG one.
No. Well, fair enough then. Oh boy! He never does the Mickey Mouse one, does he?
No, I don't know. They probably asked him, didn't they, on day, who can you do? It's like, I do a mean Donald Duck. Like, we'll have that in the scripts.
Yep. Can you do Mickey Mouse? No, we'll put Mickey Mouse.
Right then, so the sequels are done. Let's have a quick recap. You can vote on home online, and we'll vote in the room. Here we go. So Nat's sequel was The Loch is Mad.
Yeah.
Nessie's behind on the rent, basically.
Yeah.
The Nessie family on rent. Another family's waiting to move in. They're like, oh, we want to move in. Nessie family, we can't afford rent. So they decide, Isabel starts doing some fundraisers with Nessie. There's a Nessie charity, which is an acronym, but I couldn't write it all down. Do you want to read it out?
New Emerging Sciences Studying Invisible Ebola. It's the only thing I could think in 5 minutes.
All right, that's fine. The deadline's looming for the rent money, basically. Else Nessie will be exposed.
And kicked out.
Yeah,
You're going to take it on, can't pay, we'll take it away.
So Dempsey comes in, decides to take the lock out and get it drunk, and then convinces the lock that the Nessie family doesn't exist at all. Okay?
Yeah.
Mine was Dempsey. Basically, the Dempseys start murdering all these. Oh no, a body's turned up. Let me give myself a bit of something here. Hang on. Right, a body turns up and it's been eaten, and the authorities getting in. Say there's it must be the monster and blah 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 blah. Loads of Nessie hunters come in, start flocking, and the Dempseys are like, we've got to do something about this. It's getting overrun with Nessie hunters. They're going to find out that the Nessies exist, so they start murdering them all off and feeding them to the Nessies, what they've been doing with all the other monster hunters that come into the town to try and expose it. And then, they don't want the secret of the lock to be revealed. There you go. Eddie's was Dr. Mercer is angry. He's been made a fool of. The Dempseys are all hanging around together still, and Adrian hanging about as well. Gordon's attacked, and Izzy says she's had a dream. Gordon's attacked. Izzy says she had a dream about the lock boiling because she gets these visions that her grandma passed down to her, which is in the film. Mercer and his goons are out to find out about Nessie. So they've got a plan to heat the loch and raise Nessie, basically. Boil Nessie. The village rallies around and say, we all know the monster's here. We're going to attack Mercer and his goons. They succeed. It drives Mercer out of Loch Ness. Okay, let's get voting. What we're going for? Vote online, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. No problem.
This time, I'm going to vote for Chris. I like how dark it got this time. Yeah,
I'm going to vote for Chris as well. Yes,
Oh.
I like that. I don't know how the workings would make it so that a loch can be made to forget about a family of massive creatures that live in it.
stops believing, Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, it stops believing. Oh, I see. You've taken.
I took the whole thing about you can only see them if you believe them, and
Yeah.
the loch stops believing, and therefore it no longer needs to rent from them because it doesn't know they're there.
You have to keep in mind, viewers, that when that for the longest time, Nat and I's only exposure to Loch Ness was on long car journeys when Chris would just go, "No, Mr. Dempsey, you've got to believe it to see it." So that's sort of become a much more important line of dialogue in it than is possibly the case.
Yeah, I realise now you said that. Yeah,
It was in the trailer as well, though. It was in
fair
the
enough. Fair enough.
You know, I think they show the creatures in the trailer as well, which is really stupid.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, if you remember, even in the 80s, films or the 70s and stuff, films used to tell you the ending in the trailer.
Yeah.
They'd go, "This is the entire story of it. You should watch it. It's great, right?" At the end, everyone gets blown to fuck. It's it's like a mate telling you about it in the pub before spoilers became a thing. But yeah,
I'm going to vote for Eddie's.
No,
because I just couldn't believe the loch coming alive. You
know what? That's your problem, isn't it?
It is my problem. I mean, I believe in the Nessie, but not the actual loch as a character. It went too far for me.
Well, you know what? That's just your limited imagination.
Eddie's is very. I like the fact that the angry villagers are going after Mercer as well. It kind of reminded me of people getting throat slit.
Yeah.
Which got me hard.
It's all right.
I just thought
like mine.
I just thought at the end of it, you see Mercer, he is furious, and he wouldn't just let it go, would he? You know, you wouldn't if you.
Oh, he was like, fucking, he's had it.
Yeah, steaming.
The sequel probably would be about that, Mercer's revenge. I mean, he did make Dempsey look like a right dick at the start of the movie, though, didn't he? He got his just desserts.
True.
Anyway, right then. Okay, let's have a look. Big Timor, vote for me. Thanks, Big Timor. I'll never leave. It's a good tagline. I like that.
You will not leave.
I like that too. Yeah,
I like that. Yeah,
I can see that.
I love that. Thanks, Big Timor. Hannah Warman, I love.
Thank you, Hannah. Somebody who understands my vision. Thank you, Hannah.
Cool. Okay, I'll write that down. There we go.
Anna is cleverer than all of us.
Anna, open the barrels would take them out, but I still vote Eddie.
This is going to be close, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Oh.
Any more votes coming in? It's a close one. 5, 4.
Oh dear, is it going to be
2, 1?
I think it's Chris.
I was going to say Eddie or Chris.
3 votes.
Well done.
Sometimes it does pay off, doesn't it? A bit
Murder.
Bit of a twist. Yeah, right. Thanks.
Twist in the tail.
Okay, let's move on to the Requels, the final round. It's still all to play for. I've not said
it. Oh my god, it's all to play for.
It is all to play for. It's all to play for this evening still.
What's on the clapperboard, Miss Ford? You can have that one.
You probably won't be able to do that nowadays. Oh. You can't mention somebody's clapperboard on TV.
Oh, Christopher.
Not keep it PG.
No, definitely not. Or a 15.
No, we're going to Blu-ray it. 15.
Why is it a 15?
I really don't know. How long is your DVD, by the way? What does it say the running time?
It's 1 hour 37.
That's longer than this. This is an hour 30.
Is this a conspiracy?
Wonder what's extra then on yours.
Eddie, play yours backwards and see if there's a message from Satan.
I'm just going to go and get my
Has
Pink
it got
Floyd
the
albums.
missing Ted Danson windsurfing scene in yours?
No, I promise you that much.
Oh.
I'd have remembered because, there is a brilliant scene where Ted Danson takes down his windsurfing board, and then the next scene he just puts it back on top of his roof
Yeah.
rack.
There's a missing scene. And on the CD soundtrack, there is a track called Dempsey Windsurfs. Where's the lost cut? Bring it out. Snyder cut.
Snyder cut.
Need that Snyder cut.
Right then, okay.
Well, Zack Snyder's going to be sat at home just receiving all of the raw footage from so many films going, I didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Send him the hat. Come on. Let's get it going.
There you
I
go.
wonder if we could do, let's do a petition for Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Planes, Trains, and just call every massively increased film a Snyder cut.
Yeah.
He'll live forever in film history.
I would happily watch that 4-hour version of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Oh.
Of course you would. Of course you would. You'd have your John Candy cut out on one side. You'd have your John Candy dead body stuffed and propped up on the other side. You'd have your T-shirt on. Yeah, you would.
Oh, come on.
Weekend at Bernie's, it'd be like with you and John Candy.
It wouldn't. I respect it. Right then, let's
grow his little moustache for it.
I've got the taxi door like in the film, you know, where it cuts to that bit where it just goes. I've got that. Got that one. I'll just pull that up. I should have one of them on here. Taxi door. Forget it. Right then, requels. Okay, I'm going first this time.
Oh,
we know the
exciting.
rules. We know the rules, don't we? You go. We all rotate around. Right then. So my requel, pretty simple, really. Loch Ness, the Ted Danson one-man musical. We're doing it. Okay, same film, but every main part, so it's still a film, it's not on Broadway or anything. It's the same film, but every main part is played by Ted Danson. So all your main parts.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a musical, obviously. So all your side characters are still, but he plays all the named characters, basically, you know what I mean? So he plays, what's her name? Plays Laura, plays the little girl.
Isabel.
Plays it, Adrian, Gordon, Dr. Mercer, plays them all, and he does quick wig changes in the film.
Just wig changes.
Yeah.
Chris, you've often spoken about doing a quick wig change impression act. So I'm guessing you're just seeing if there's a flavour for this, and you're going to do it at the next Fringe that happens.
Just seeing how many votes we get for this.
Just gauging it. And also, you've invoked the musical clause.
You have invoked the musical clause, yeah.
I have, but I know this game as well as you do. I've got some song titles for you if you want.
Come on then, hit us. Yeah.
I was going to read them out to you anyway as part of my pitch because I've got time. Song titles include Abernathy Smacks His Head, He's Dead. That's the kind of the chorusy bit that goes with it. Bit of a rhyme. He's dead. Smacked his head. He's dead.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Is that all otters singing?
Yeah. Well, there's
because I'm talking myself into voting for you now. I've just realised.
There's backing dancers as well throughout all these, so that's one of the things you kind of. Even though it's a film, it's a bit like Little Shop. If you want to reference that.
Okay. All right.
So you've got nice little harmonies and things going on, and the odd cameo.
There's an otter doo-wop band.
Yeah. There's some cameos from Cheers people as well in it, by the way. So
Kelsey Grammer in it.
Kelsey Grammer, Kirstie Alley, they're all popping up. The Norm guy, what's his name?
Oh,
what's his name?
But John Ratzenberg, does he play the postman?
Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, I'll tell you this, Sammy.
Yeah.
I was telling Ma the other night.
Do you want some more titles? This goes in the film order, actually. I have wrote it in film order. So Abernathy Smacks His Head, He's Dead. You've had that one. Dempsey Blues is next. So this is when he goes back to the university place. And and there's a few choruses in there about his car breaking down, his drinking problem, and then his job. I wouldn't admit he's got to go to Loch Ness. Next one is Welcome to Scotland, you yank. This is where the whole chorus is round him on the tarmac of the airport, and he's like, ah! You know, it's like losing his mind. Are they there or are they in his mind?
Is that one written by the Proclaimers?
Yeah. Welcome to Scotland,
you yank.
Yeah.
Oh, no, here you are in Scotland.
Oh, why don't you fuck off back home? Get back to America. There you go. Yeah. The next one, it skips a bit here in the movie. We don't do the scene in the hotel thing, you know, with all the other monster hunters. One of them were from Raiders of the Lost Ark, by the way. The Nazi guy was in it. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, next song is You're Blocking the Drive. So this is a big number where she's, he's got to do the double switcheroo.
Is that based on Sit Down, You're Rocking the Boat?
Yes. Right. And he's
Sit down, you're blocking the drive.
The way they filmed that, it's really clever because he's got to get out of the car and back in around the door.
You might want to give him a convertible for that one.
Yeah, it's an impressive one, that. Then the next one is How Much Is That? Moffat Arms Cha Cha in the subtitles. That what do you call it?
It's a bit of Latin infusion.
Yeah,
right.
And that's where he's negotiating for the room money. You know, he's £80
Is this a bit like the Cell Block Tango?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. From what do you call it? Chicago.
Yeah,
is it?
from Chicago. Yeah.
Then next one's called Pop and Lock Out on the Lock. That's on the boat. Yeah, and they're doing all the.
And that's a breakdancing kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
They've gone for every kind of musical style they can, which the first reviews will come out and they won't like that shit. They just will not like it. You know, it's too much. Next scene is called...
You're preparing for the reviews.
Yeah. Next scene is called Making an Impression. It's the famous bit where he's on the stairs with himself now. And he's got to get a stare down while he's filming it. It's tricky. He does it, though. He's dancing. Next one is... I've got to believe it to see it. This is the big show-stopping number in the film. Like,
right.
You know,
ballad?
This is the big... Yeah, ballad, yeah. And he's out on the lock and it's dark and it looks nice. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like, I've got to believe it to see it. It's all nice like that. Right. But
I believed in Canada, but now I can't believe.
Yeah, there you go. And it's I've got to believe, not you've got his you know, his own his own, what's the word, vision. Then next song is just called Holy Shit, It's Real. This is when he got the photo, and that's the only thing, you know, you throw a bit of language in, they'll like that.
It's 15, you can get away 15. With the shit.
Yeah.
Then next song is after he goes to London, it's just got London Calling by The Clash in it. It's a really bad decision by the people who've made the film just to put that in it.
You're just trying to get me to vote for it, aren't you?
Yeah, there you go. Then the next song is You're Blocking the Drive, Reprisal.
Oh, good.
Because it goes back to the end. He's got the bike on the thing for the little girl.
Becomes the love theme.
She comes out and says, "You're blocking the drive again." He goes, "I know. What are you going to do? Oh, we'll have a kiss." And then the pulls her in car. So he's actually doing that thing, you know, where you do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Doing that. And then the big finale, You Saw It, Now Believe It. That's the big end song.
I mean, I don't know whether there's any point in Eddie and I even doing our pitches because...
You've got time.
Do you know what I mean? No, not because there's no time, just because that was... I've got no questions. That was very thorough.
I mean, you can, if you want to think of a question, you can.
No, I literally have no questions.
Can Isabel have her own little private song just called Two Wheels and a Basket about her desperately wanting a bicycle?
Yes.
Is it going to be irritating though, like Castle on a Cloud?
Oh yeah, no, it will be. It'll be a bit where most people go for a piss. But
it's like the bit. Did you see Grinch as well? How the Grinch stole Jim Carrey. With that little lass starts singing in that. When I saw that in cinema, I thought, she's going to sing. Oh no, she's going to sing. She's going to sing. It's going to be a song, and then it started, and we're all everything.
It's like Michael Palin in Holy Grail, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. No bloody singing.
Yeah.
Just you really want to be able to do that.
Land.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Oh no, maybe. Oh wait, did I?
Hold on,
I had a question. Got it.
But yeah,
we've got that. Hannah's asked why we aren't rotated. We can't rotate tonight because it'll just throw the chat off. I think if I try it.
If Chris comes out of the feed, then the whole thing will just fall to pieces. Sadly.
Oh, I do have a question. I do. So, are they going to be singing it live, a la Les Miserables, or are they going to be dubbing? And you mentioned Little Shop of Horrors. one of my favourite films of all time, the Rick Moranis version of. In that, I really enjoy the three narrators all the way through it. They're quite sinister. So part one of my question is, are they singing live? Is he singing live? Part two of my question is, will it have like the sinister narrator trio who will take us through the film?
Right, okay. First bit, Danson's a pro, so of course he'll be singing live. No dubbing.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And he only needs one take.
Yeah.
Second, I don't think. I mean, we've got the chorus dancers and things like that, and there is choruses in there, but I don't think it's going to be so show-stopping. It doesn't need a narrator.
So okay, that's fine. That's all I need.
It's going to be like you're going to know what's happening. You're going to be like, don't need narrating this thing. It's like we don't need any setup. Danson will carry the whole show.
All right, it's a lot to put on his shoulders, but if anyone can do it, Danson can do it.
He's a pro. You've seen his previous work as well. It's not like you go, who is this guy? You're like,
yeah, he's not messing about, is he? Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. Is that it? No more questions? Good.
That's it.
Hannah said this. Ted Danson should be in it too because she had a head injury. Mary Steenburgen. Is that true? Can't be true.
I don't know. Is it a reference to The Good Place? Because I haven't watched that.
No, neither have I. Even though it's pure dancing.
But there are other people in it as well.
Yeah, I know. But
is that why you've not watched it? This dancing's a bit diluted. I don't think I fancy it.
No, 50% more dancing, please.
It's true. Oh, goodness me.
Just looking it up now.
Crikey.
I thought that was made up for a plot of Scrubs, but apparently, oh goodness me.
I don't know. Is that? I mean, that doesn't sound. It sounds awful, but it also sounds like interesting, doesn't it? Sees life as a musical. I mean, how would that?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to find out more about it because I'm speaking from a position of pure ignorance at the moment.
That's having a look. Right then, should we better move on. Eddie, it's your turn next for your requel.
Cool. So my requel, I'm keeping some bits and I'm changing some other bits. This is all sort of. I'll tell you where the idea came from when I get to the end. So, Monster Hunter, just known as Dempsey, travels to Loch Ness. But he finds that the deep isn't the only place where monsters lurk. Told to leave while he can by all the adults, only Isabel, the girl who always appears when needed, encourages him to keep seeking. One night, worse for the drink, he is led by Isabel to the shores of the loch. She shows him how good she is at swimming. As she flips and spins and cuts through the water, he cheers. Overexcited and full of whiskey, he dives in. Isabel then reveals her true form, that of a selkie, a seal spirit, but this one corrupted by tragedy as her family of seals were killed by monster hunters inadvertently while they were looking for Nessie. Now she lures them to the great monster herself to be devoured. And he is.
Wow.
And this was entirely inspired by the first appearance of Isabel, which is the surprising jump scare when he's looking out of the loch with his binoculars and this sort of bright red thing appears and it's really frightening.
Oh my God, like in Don't Look Now. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she's like, hello. And so I thought if that had like a violin stab on it, it would be like a really like effective jump scare for a horror. So I thought I'd make her a seal spirit. I actually looked up Celtic folklore to find an appropriate spirit for her to be.
Cool. Okay. Questions. Let's have a think. It takes me time to think of the question because I'm writing stuff down. Hang on.
So, are you going to keep the original cast? And again, coming back to a question I asked Chris about his, will this be a CGI transformation? Will you be using
for the spirit, because she's very ethereal, that will be CG because she'll move between human and seal shape being both and neither at the same time kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But for Nessie, that will keep the Henson thing, because we've got a perfectly good functioning Nessie. No need to spoil it. Sharpen the teeth, put a bit more blood on it. But overall, that Nessie is working brilliant. So keep that. But for the sort of more magical creatures, then we'll have some CG on that.
Okie dokie.
It'll be
Thank
a
you.
bit like, I was thinking of sort of like the ghosts in the Harry Potter films, you know, that silvery, sort of spectrally kind of thing. That kind of vibe is pretty nice.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Let's talk casting then for yours as well. Then let's. Who do you see play? I mean, Dempsey going for Danson.
I'd like to keep it as close to the original cast actually, because I think the vibe would be a bit grittier. I think it would be a bit more American Werewolf in London kind of vibe, with everyone in the pub, because again, the pub and the pub in Werewolf in London, you know, a lot of people, he'd get a bit more cold shoulder by people. He'd be a bit more, get out of it if I were you. There's nothing for you here, American. Why don't you go off home? Or, you know, you'd probably be better off in Edinburgh. Maybe go to, you know, telling him to sort of get out, but not wanting to admit that.
Okay. Who would play Isabel then? Who would you see as the...
Well, I mean, I'd like that little girl to play Isabel, because
the same, exactly the same.
I'd like it to be that sort of cast set in that time, because I think she's really good in the film. I think it's a pretty impressive performance, and I think she could probably turn it. In fact, if you just took her performance and put the right music under it, it would be hugely sinister, because she's playing a little girl with this element of clairvoyance.
The Shining.
So she's got this sort of extra knowledge, this sort of supernatural thing. So just that, but played on in a sinister way, would work really, really easily.
All right.
So like when she's making all those weird noises on the stairs and stuff with him, you know.
Have you not got Adrian in it then? Is he just gone? Or
well, yeah. Now Adrian, I think Adrian would be someone who sort of disappears, or he may well stumble upon Adrian, or indeed half of Adrian may well fall out of Nessie's mouth when in the final sort of fighting, trying not to be eaten, or, you know, see him in the lair if they ever make it into there, because Adrian would be probably trying to sort out the problem, but everyone else knows if you mess around with Selkies, if you mess around with mischievous spirits, then you get in bother. Selkies aren't naturally, you know, they're not supposed to be like malicious spirits, but I thought if they'd had their family killed by monster hunters, they might take umbrage, so they're kind of neutral.
Like if you nick a bear's honey.
It's so
we've
like
all
that.
seen Pooh go wild, haven't we? When you nick his honey.
Pooh go wild.
Pooh went wild.
Madness of King Pooh.
Wants that honey in his tummy. No denying.
It's rumbly otherwise.
Yeah, so I've just got a quick Ted Danson's wife update for you. So apparently she woke up.
Oh, we're going live to Nat for a Ted Danson's wife up.
Thanks for joining me here in the bedroom. So apparently she woke up from minor arm surgery and her brain was only music. This has led to a songwriting career, might earn an Oscar. Apparently when she came around from her surgery and the anesthesia started to wear off, this is how she described it. The best way I can describe it is that it just felt like my brain was only music. Everything anybody said to me became musical. All of my thoughts became musical. Every street sign became musical, and I couldn't get my mind into any other mode. I couldn't focus, couldn't remember lines. We were all quite frightened about it. And after a few months of it, just constantly having music in her brain, she got a friend to come and she sang things to a friend, and a friend translated it. She has since learned to play an instrument and become a very successful songwriter under a pseudonym.
Wow.
Might get an Oscar. There you go.
Holy shit.
Wow, that's crazy.
I know, right? Bizarre.
Me.
That's insane. And how's the weather out there in Atlanta?
There's a 33% chance it's already raining.
Wow, that's unbelievable. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there you go.
Thanks for bringing that to our attention, Hannah.
No problem.
Wow. Right. Okay. Your turn then, Nat. Your Requel, please.
Yeah, so I just thought, I mean, clearly subconsciously you guys wanted to spice it up a bit as well because you turned yours into murder, death, kill movies. So I want to spice it up too. So I want to remake it in the same genre as Godzilla versus Kong. I want it to be Nessie versus Kong. So King Kong is attacking Edinburgh. He's smashing the shit out of the castle, stealing women left, right, and centre. Of course, they're Scottish women, so they don't put up with any of this shit, and they're punching the crap out of him and stuff. But he's a very big ape, and they need help. And the only person who can help them is Nessie, because it's discovered that King Kong and Nessie's rivalries go way, way back, just like King Kong versus Godzilla. I don't know if you've seen it.
Not yet, no.
Well, I won't. No spoilers. Then I won't give you any spoilers. Needless to say,
I like the idea you can spoil King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to spoil it for you. But needless to say, that Kong and Nessie's rivalries are ancient and go ancestrally way back, and one can only destroy the other if they get a hold of a special piece of equipment. Which I suppose in Nessie's case might be like if Kong gets hold of like an old flipper made into a shield or something. And so they have to literally fight to the death.
Wow.
And obviously Nessie's got to win because it's Scotland, and then goes back to the loch. And the body of King Kong is hollowed out. And at Halloween, Nessie wears it as a Halloween costume.
I thought you were going to say it was hollowed out and turned into 16 separate fringe venues.
Obviously, it is in the summer.
£20,000 to hire out for the month.
Obviously, it is in the summer, but at Halloween, Nessie uses it as a costume.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, fine. It dries out.
Yeah.
All right.
Where are you this year? Oh, we're in Kong's Head this year.
We're in Kong Buttock too. Oh, okay. It's good there. It's good.
Very great acoustically. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot of foot traffic through there. A lot of footfalls.
Flyer up the nostrils as well.
Yeah. Slide straight down the throat and they're there. It's really good. Yeah. Drinks offers. Yeah.
Until some tit leaves all the flyers all over bottom of his stomach and people just slip everywhere.
Yeah.
True story.
Sorry. Yeah.
True story.
You've made kaiju. You've made Loch Ness and the Loch Ness monster into a kaiju, which I like a lot. Is it going to be pretty much exclusively them, or are we going to have to suffer humans in this film?
No, it's going to be pretty much exclusively them. Okay, I think we're going to have to see the Dempseys essentially get Nessie and alert Nessie to what's happening. And I think we're probably going to need a little bit of a humans. Maybe we'll even get Jack Black in again. Humans at the beginning releasing King Kong in Scotland for some reason. I think he's a sideshow. That's what I'm going to go with now.
Oh, he's there possibly as part of the fringe. That way he can trample some mimes.
Yes,
and that was going to be my question. Are there any comedians who come a cropper because of the rampage? On the
several.
And can we choose the ones that are?
Several different venues are trampled, so people will be. Yeah. Whoever you choose can be horribly maimed. Yeah. And we can see Kong eating fringe venue theatre groups to keep his strength up. Yeah,
just a load of A-level students dressed as Victorian ghosts. Just
yeah. And sometimes he'll just strip them, and then out will come their skeleton, and he'll just drop it, and he'll move on to the next. So we'll see
loads of people making notes. Next year's show is going to be a reaction to the gorilla massacre. This is from someone who. This is from someone who did attend the Fringe the first year after 9/11. There were a lot of what were known as reactions to 9/11, and a lot of them were in frightfully poor taste.
Oh dear.
There will be some sort of long spoken word piece about it, definitely. Yeah. But what we will see is during the climax, this climactic battle on Edinburgh Castle of Kong and Ness, finally just getting right down to it, there'll be some haunting bagpipe music, the sounds, the awful sounds will fade out, and then there'll be haunting bagpipe music, and then Sean Connery's voice will do this monologue over the fight, just as Kong's being defeated, about like Scotland and Nessie and being the land of the free, and then it will fade back into
Home of the brave.
the home of the brave. Yeah.
Is it Sean Connery going to be doing like a Rabbie Burns poem or something?
Something like that, yeah. Mel
Over
Gibson
Scotland the
Splash
Brave, or
yeah, something like that.
Is the Edinburgh Castle a bit cheaper to get in after this devastation? Have they like knocked a bit off it, so it's not?
No, actually, it's more expensive because like it survived the Great Kong Ness War of 2022.
Wow.
So yeah.
So all right. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Right then, it's time to sum it up. Let's have a look. Right then, Requels. I went first. Mine was basically Ted Danson, the one-man musical. It plays everybody apart from supporting characters in there. You've got his cheers buddies scattered throughout it. Songs include, but aren't limited to, Welcome to Scotland, You Yank, You're Blocking the Drive, Pop and Lock Out on the Lock, I've got to believe it to see it. That's the big showstopper. London Calling, You're Blocking the Drive reprisal, and You Saw It Now Believe It. Eddie's was Monster. Basically, it's obviously a remake. Monster Hunter Dempsey, just called Dempsey this time, is told to leave by all the adults in the Loch Ness area. They're all like, "Get out of here, you bloody Yank," and all this. Isabel, he gets drunk and basically he talks to Isabel and she says, "Oh, come down to the loch with me." And she starts swimming around. She's flipping and diving everywhere. Dempsey thinks, "Oh, that looks fun. I'll dive in as well." So he goes in for a swim. Turns out she's a selkie, which is a seal spirit. And she lures him to his death, eaten by Nessie, the big fish.
Wow.
Right then, Nats was like Godzilla versus Kong. It's Nessie versus Kong. Edinburgh, Kong's taking Scottish women, and the
fringe participants,
and fringe, and mimes, and student improv groups. Taking them. So they get Nessie to come in and have a massive battle. The rivalry goes way back. Only one can only destroy the other with a machine. Did you say?
No. They essentially one's got to destroy the other, and it's a bit of a spoiler, but yeah, they have to use like an ancient shield made from one of Nessie's fins to do it. An ancient Nessie's fins.
Yeah. Okay, right. So they destroy each other, fight to the death, and I think Kong died. We find out.
Kong dies with Sean Connery doing a Robbie Burns poem over bagpipe music.
Okay, we'll allow that, even though it was added after. You know the rules. Right, okay, let's vote. Do you know what? Because he did his research, I'm going to give it to Eddie, this one. I liked that you went into the mythology stuff. I'm a big fan of all that stuff, so yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
Okay.
I am going to vote for Chris because it's a musical, and you had a full set list of songs. Like, you didn't just choose one song.
Yeah.
You had a full set list of songs.
Some would say that's too long, but you know.
You worked it out, like you knew what you were doing. Yeah, you get my vote.
This is a tough one because I love a musical and I love a kaiju film, but I think I'm going to go kaiju because I want to see the Edinburgh Fringe disrupted by I think it's the fact that it's the Fringe that I really like. The idea that there's some big monsters and there'll still be people standing there watching chunks of Edinburgh Castle fall down, still going, guys, do you want to see this? It's really important. It covers loads of issues. It's actually about, it's like, this is a retelling of the story of a one man's escape from the gulags, but using licorice all sorts instead of Russians. And, and seeing them get stood on like a finished cigarette would be brilliant. So I'm voting Nat.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Maybe I should change my vote.
I wouldn't blame you.
No, I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to stick. Oh, no, go on. I'll destroy some fringe groups.
I totally get it.
Explaining all that, yeah. Sorry about that. Right, let's have a look online. 60 more. Let's go vote for Chris. His idea is why you shouldn't do drugs, kids. Very important message. So you're not voting for a message. You're voting for okay. Vote to Nat Ness gone through Godzilla at the end credits. Could do, yeah.
I
Yeah.
assume Godzilla would have come over with some sort of Japanese dance troupe. They're doing like the joint like kabuki theater and stuff, and Godzilla just suddenly wakes up and goes, "Wait a minute."
I've been to one-man long-form improv show, so no doubt Chris would work. But thank you very much, Anna. That's very kind of you.
And you live to tell the tale. That's impressive.
That's another person in the Ted Danson one-man musical show.
Well, to be honest, I think all of the one-man long-form improv shows will be stamped on by King Kong.
Mary Steenburgen writes a score about Chris. She will be writing that score, yes.
Of course.
I'm in talks with her as we speak.
Well, in that case, they can rehearse in the living room.
Yeah.
Easy.
Right then, any more votes? Because if not...
Come on, there must be more votes.
If there's any more votes, it's time to get them in now. We'll give it a couple more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's over! It's over. Nat, my friend. It's a tie.
Is it a tie break? Well, you know what? You know what, Chris? 1, you don't often pitch, and 2, you love this movie, so you got the win.
No, I couldn't possibly do that.
Yeah, you could. You got the win.
Eddie's got the win.
What? Okay.
No, we'll accept the tie. It's fine. It's fine.
Well, that means you've won 2 rounds each. Technically, you split one and one separately. So
it's nice to tie. It's nice to tie. It's fine. I don't mind. Wish I hadn't fucking changed my vote now. That's caustic for me. I'm gonna fucking sleep tonight now. I'm gonna be tossing and turning. If only I'd have voted.
And you have dreams with me in it, going, ha ha ha, you vote for me, you vote for me.
Going around Ed like they do.
Yeah. King versus Kong, King versus Kong, King versus Kong, ha ha ha. Yeah.
Lisa needs braces.
You're only the second best priest in the country. Only the second best priest in the country. They're all going to go around.
If he sings, he wins. Oh, didn't win. Never mind.
If he sings, he wins.
Right, let's put our thing back on. Where are we? There we go. There we go. Well, it's all over. Well done, you two, for playing along with that. And thank you for watching along at home as well. We appreciate you being here with us.
Thank you.
It's very nice for voting. Thank you very much. So then, let's wrap up this show. Let's do some plugging. Nat, you got anything to plug?
I haven't got anything to plug. Were you asking before? Guess what, though? Guess what? I have got 2 whole weeks holiday coming up in 2 weeks' time. 2 weeks together, non-stop. Wow. 2 weeks holiday. I'm so excited. And 4 of those, I'll be completely on my own, just me and the dog, living our best lives. Just think what I can get done. 4 days.
Right.
Yeah.
I've got 2 weeks off, and 4 of them are going to be...
4 of them are going to be 2 ahead of the game. I've
already started on the Tia Maria. I can't do maths no more.
So, what are you going to do? Are you going to...
Well, I'm going to make some content. I'm excited. Yeah.
Just after everything returns to semi-normal and nobody's online, you're going to launch a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
People will still be online.
Nobody will see that coming. It's a wise, bold
move. It's the cleverest move.
It's a bold move.
You can say everybody's burned out of content, so that's why they'll move on to fresh stuff.
She's going to be the new PewDiePie.
Marketing genius.
Yeah.
PewDiePie.
New PewDiePie.
Yeah, so without all the controversy.
And can you tell us about your channel, or do we have to wait? Was it,
I'm going to just get you to wait for 1 more week, and then next week, because that next Monday is the Monday before I go on holiday on the Friday. So yeah, I'm gonna let you wait another week.
Okay.
Fair enough. So what you've got upcoming is an announcement for what you've got upcoming.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's what it's all about. Keep them keen, innit?
It's like one of those video game expos. They're like, oh, welcome to this video game thing. We've got an announcement. We're going to be releasing some games soon.
Yeah. Here's a screenshot.
Yeah. What is it? It is the title. What's it called? It's called Plague. Could be anything. Doesn't matter. Fuck it. Yeah.
You like the Marvel marketing genius where you release a little bit of info. Yeah. Not enough to get anybody going, wow. It's like you'll put a title of the YouTube channel next time. It'll be in a lovely graphic. And then what you'll do, you'll change the title then, and it will be meaningless like they keep doing. stuff.
Just after everyone's printed the t-shirts off, yeah.
Just say, it's going to be entering phase 1, and everyone goes, "Oh, phase 1 is starting,"
Oh
and
my
then
God.
realise they don't know what that means.
Right. Okay, we got a quick thanks for the punch show, guys. Good luck with your YouTube channel now.
Thanks,
You're already getting viewers, and you've got nothing so far. So
thanks, mate.
That's great. What have you got to plug for us this week, Eddie?
IC News podcast and Fire Breathing Kittens podcast, D&D 5th edition, fun for all the family, and the Discount Comedy Checkout Improv Show, which is a podcast as well. That's all happening, which is all very exciting. And I imagine, Chris, you're going to tell everyone about our return to being able to see us in the wild.
Yes, we are returning to gigs very shortly. Everything's starting in June, basically. We've got our regular Leeds gigs are starting again. So if you want to see the Discount Comedy Checkout Improv Show, come and see us. We'd love to have you there.
5th of June.
5th of June, Saturday night, yeah. We're starting back at the Fent, and then we've got gigs that we've got all over, really. Can't remember any of them. Seven Arts, We've got the Wednesday after.
Seven Arts is on the 9th.
Beginning with a G. Beginning with a G,
we've got
guys.
Bradford, we've got Harrogate. They're all coming back.
Tapestry on the 11th.
Yeah, we've got back up at Georgian Theatre as well.
On the 19th.
Shoecake Comedy up there. So if anybody's in that area, come and see us. And then there's more starting as well. So that'll be lovely. Check out all the infos on the Discount Comedy Checkout page. Thank you. Other than that, what have I got? Tomorrow night, All Geek to Me has changed from its usual Saturday night time slot. We're now doing it on Tuesdays, starting at the early time of 7:30 tomorrow night.
You're on the edge.
Rich and Nath, we have got an Indiana Jones retrospective.
Oh, I love Indiana Jones.
So we'll be discussing that, and we're all together. We're going to try this. We're all on the same sofa. We're all at Nathan's house. So could go either way. Either the internet signal's going to go down, or we're all not going to fit on the sofa on the screen at the same time. It's going to be chaos, pandemonium.
I love it.
7:30.
Could have checked it, couldn't you?
We could have, but we're too lazy.
But not going to, fair enough.
That would mean 2 trips to Nathan's house, and I'm prepared to do one.
I can't think of anything worse.
Then also tomorrow night, I've got my radio show, 8 o'clock.
How are you doing that when you're doing what?
No.
I'm running out of days at week. That's what happens. So I've got to pre-record some stuff. But I've got a track from Loch Ness tomorrow night.
Of course you have.
There's some nice music in this film.
There is some. Trevor Jones did the score for this. Really good, really nice stuff.
Really nice stuff. And then at the end, they spoil it with that horrible Rod Stewart song.
Yeah. The Rod Stewart version isn't on the CD. It's somebody else. It's an actual Scottish band doing it.
Oh, right. Well, yeah.
But it's good score music.
Yeah, the score's lovely. Yeah, the score's very nice indeed.
Very nice, very nice. You can get it on a limited edition CD.
Very nice.
Only 1,000 copies, I think, were made.
Oh.
Anyway, I won't bore you with that. So that's 2 things.
And you've only got 200 of them.
Yeah. Somebody else got the extra one. Hunt them down. Right then. So tomorrow night, then All Geek to Me, 7:30, and What's the Score, 8 o'clock. But next week we are back on Monday with. Rich Gittins from All Geek to Me is going to be our guest because I planned this in advance because I was getting behind on them all. We are doing the Monster Squad, classic 80s film as it lived up to
That's always the worry, isn't it?
Yeah.
I remember this one being very fun, and it's got all monsters in it, which I like. Yeah. So fingers crossed.
We will see. So that's next Monday night, 8 o'clock. We'll be back here.
8.
So please join in with us. Come and see us, and we'll be back. Thanks so much to everybody for tuning in tonight and watching this. Really appreciate it on a Monday night. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you next week. Thank you. Love you.